Hey, what's up? My name is Chris and welcome to Coding in Public. Okay, so today I am not able to do a live stream, so I pre-recorded this ahead of time. You can see we've got the Christmas lights going and we're going to work through Codewars, which I've never actually done before. And I literally just created an account. That's all I know so far. So let's jump in together here. And here you can see I've got the Codewars account up and going and it gives me a task. That's the only thing I know so far. So let's work through this together. I see here we've got return the number count of vowels given in a given string. A, E, I, O, U are vowels, but not Y. Okay. So I'm guessing I just changed this. So whatever the string is, let's just have a be like num of vowels. Let me know. Actually, let me zoom in just a touch. Since this isn't live, I already forgot. You can't let me know anything. Let's start with 0 here. Then I'm simply going to iterate on each of these items. So I should be able to take this string dot. Actually, let's just do this for, const s of string. So we're going to loop through each of these items. I just want to see if it's one of these items. So let's go ahead and also declare up here like vowels, if I can type, equals, and we're going to say A, E, I, O, and U. Hopefully this music isn't too loud for you. It's just real subtle. That's the plan at least. Okay. So now I just want to ask if string is in that. And if so, I'll add to the number. Otherwise, I'll just return or continue or whatever. So I'll just say if, and I'll say vowels dot includes, and then I'll pass in the S. Let's see if I can do all this without any autocomplete. Then I want to take the number of vowels and I just want to add to it. Is that right? Probably not. 5 should be abracadabra. Let's see. Number of vowels equals vowels plus 1. All right, let's see. Let's console log inside here just to see what I'm getting. So this should be an individual item. Let's see if it actually lets me. Okay, so AB, so it is logging it properly. Oh, I never returned. Okay, details. So now we're going to return the num of vowels. And then maybe we did it correctly. Let's see. Yeah, okay. I was like, I think that's right. I don't even know how to go to the next one. Attempt. I think I attempted it. Did I zoom in too much to not see the next one? Skip. Next. How do I go to the next item here? Instructions. Skip, unlock solutions, discuss, test. Skip. Okay. All right, let's zoom back in. I don't know, that probably wasn't the right way to do that. All right, you are given an array which will have a length of at least 3, but could be very large, containing integers. The array is either entirely comprised of odd integers or entirely comprised of even integers, except for a single integer n. Okay? It's either all odd. Sorry, it's either entirely comprised of odd or entirely comprised of even, except for a single. Okay, so there's just an opposite. Write a method that takes the array as an argument and returns this outlier, n. Okay, the only odd number, the only even number. Okay, so I first need to determine if it's odd or even, right? Now, it could be any section in here. So maybe I should think that, I'm sure there's like a super performant way to do this, and I'm sure I'm not going to do that. So hopefully you can be okay with that. We're going to loop through each item, and all I want to see is basically if there's odds or evens so far. So it could be at the first position or the second position, and that doesn't tell me enough. So I need to at least loop through the first 3 and see what they are. All right, so let's do this. We're going to say is odd, I guess, or is even. How about that? I'm guessing 0. No, 0 could be in there too. So we're going to say whatever the num is that I pass in, wish this was JavaScript or TypeScript, but that's okay. We're going to say num modulo, wherever that is, 2 equals 0. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, it's okay, calm down. We're going to say console log is even, just to make sure I didn't make some dumb error here. And we're going to console like this, and this should say true. Okay, cool. All right, so we've got our little even function. Now I want to loop through the first 3 items no matter what. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. We're going to loop through all the items. And let's see, let's just do a for each or for loop, I guess. Let's do a for each. So I'm going to say integers, jers dot for each. And I want to take each integer. And I also want to grab the index, which I probably could have named that better, but that's okay. And I want to make sure that I've looped through like each item, and I check to see, let's see, outside this loop. Yeah, so here we're going to have this like int, let, and we'll call this like outlier equals, and right now it will be, we'll just declare it. We won't initialize it with anything. Okay. So I want to make sure that I loop through the first item or each item. And if it's less than index 2, yeah, less than index 3, then I loop through again no matter what, because I need to double check that there's at least 2 that are the same. So in other words, in the first 3, if there's only 3, it could be odd, even, and I don't know which is the normal yet. And then odd tells me that the even is the even one out, if that makes sense. So that's what we're going to do so far. How do I loop back to that? I don't really know. So my instinct is to have some kind of like array here. I don't really know how to do this. So this is probably not a good way, but let's just do the not good way first. So we'll say like, all right, if we're going to have like first 3. Let's comment this out. Let's have like a first and initial loop that just looks at the first 3. This seems really bad. Let's just do it. We'll say like first 3 equals, and we'll have integers, jers dot slice. Oh man, splice or slice. I don't remember which one is. Splice a JavaScript. Is this the one that, I think this is the one that is modifies the array. So I want slice. So I want 0 to 2. Is that right? And let's console log this. I'm not like super great at these kinds of things, but I feel like this is a great time or a way to test yourself, because you have to do it live, and doing it live like actually shows you expected undefined to equal 1. Okay, should give me to the second one, so I want to the third one. Okay, cool. All right, so we get the first 3. I just can't remember what that gave you back. Why can I not see the start of this? What is this search thing? Can you not? Okay. Okay, so what I want to do is loop through these first 3. And I guess I'm just going to do this sloppy to start with. So we first get the first 3 and figure out what norm is. All right, so I'm going to take integers, or sorry, first 3 dot for each. We're going to take each item and we'll have like a let norm. Why not? And again, we won't initialize it with anything. So all I want to say is if, why am I having a hard time figuring this out? Okay, so let's think through the problem then. So first thing I want to do is check the first 2. All right, if the first 2 are both like odd or even, then I know what the odd one out is, right? If they're not, then I have to check the third one. Now, where do I store this exactly? I don't know. Norm is like the thing I'm going to check against, I guess. Yeah, so let's, I guess, just check this first. All right, so I'm going to say if, I don't need a loop over these either. So I'm just going to say if, first 3, 0. Yeah, let's say is even. Why do I keep doing that? This one, if this equals the same as is even, they could both be false. I think that could work. Yeah. All right. I think that works. We'll say first 3, 1. Then I know that the norm equals if whatever the first one is. So first 3, 0. If this is even, I'll talk through this in a second. Then this would be the even. So I don't know exactly how to declare this. I guess I could just do 0 or 1. I just need to know which one I'm looking for when I go ahead and loop through everything. So I could say like even, I guess. Otherwise, I'm looking for odd. All right, so let's first of all do this and see what happens. And I want to console log the norm here, which I don't know if this one will give me anything. It doesn't yet. All right, it's undefined still. So it doesn't hit this because they're not both the exact same. But if I were to change this, can I change this? And we run it again. Even. Okay, so that is working properly. Let's say that these are both odd and see if that works. Odd. Okay. So now I basically, the only other thing to check is if they're not the exact same. So then I could say else. I want to check to see if I need to check all the different variations. Yeah, I think so. So let's change this to something like F just to make it a little more compressed. All right, and now what I want to do is check to see if, there's probably a more efficient way to do this. Let's just say else if. Let's just do another if statement. If is even, we're going to grab the same thing. And we'll take this and the second, well, the third item. If that's the same, then we'll do the exact same thing. Which makes me think there's a better way to do that. But, all right, so then they would be either even or odd. Is that right? F0 is equal to that. I'm missing parentheses. Okay. So this should tell me even. All right. Otherwise, we'll just check to see if 0, 1 and 0, 2 are the same. Okay, so we are going to get through this mangled mess. There's a way better way to do this, I'm sure. Let's just check all these at the same time. If that is the same, let's just leave it messy right now. Okay. Like I said, I'm not very good at these problems, but there's one way to actually test yourself, and it's not doing it by yourself in the dark. It's doing it live, even if it's a live recording. Okay, first 3, figure out what. So we now know if it's odd or even, which means we know what the outlier should be the opposite, whatever. So if the norm is even, then I'm looking for an odd number. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is come down here, and we're going to say, I guess kind of no matter what, even if it's, no pun intended, even if it's only 3, we can loop through those 3 again. That's not a big deal. This won't be the most efficient thing I've ever done in my life, but I'm just going to try to get the answer and call it a day. Okay, integers. So for each integer, what we're going to check to see is we want to see if it's odd or even, right? So I guess we could actually name this, what if we called this true or false? Because then, false. Oh wait, norm is even. This would be 0, that's fine. This would need to be 1. Okay. I think that works. All right, so now what I want to do is check to see if the individual item, so we don't really need this index anymore either, which means I'll probably return this to a for loop. So we'll say for const I of integers to jers. All right, we're just simply going to ask if it is the opposite, right, of whatever it's supposed to be. Yeah, so if the I is even, if I is equal to whatever the norm is, then I'll just continue, right? Otherwise, I'll return outlier equals I. I think that's it. Return outlier. I'm not sure if that's correct. Yep. Okay. Cool. So there's a way more efficient way to do that. Let me talk through the logic at least. So because we have to figure out what's the normal, is it even or odd? I have to know the first three. That's the only way to predictably know if like the normal, 2 of them are even or 2 of them are odd or whatever. So this will give me a check on all of them. Like this tells me, are these both even, etc. Then I loop through each of these and I just simply ask if the individual item is the same as the norm. So this is going to be set to true if the whole thing is even, or odd if the whole thing is odd. And then if it is, I just continue. So go to the next loop. And if it's not, then I return and jump straight out. So I'm sure this could be way faster. Like this seems way too long for, I'm sure some of these could be really long. I don't know. Anyhow. Okay, cool. Well, I think we figured it out enough. Skip this kata. See, how do I say like done? I did the thing. I don't know. All right, let's do a couple more. Your task is to sort a given string. Each word in the string will contain a single number. The number is the position the word should have in the result. Note, numbers can be from 1 to 9, so 1 will be the first word, not 0. Okay. If the input string is empty, return an empty string. The words in the input string will only contain valid executive numbers. Okay. So there's a string here. This is a test. All right. I did not understand that. Your task is to sort a given string. Each word in the string will contain a single number. Every word has a number in it. The number is a position the word should have in the result. Okay. So this is saying it should be the last one. This is the first one. And then I remove that number. Okay. Okay, so I need to order these things. Man, how would I want to order this? I guess I would just push it in. So let's have like a final or something like that. And this is just going to be empty array. And then I'll look at each of the items, regex that thing out. Do I need to strip out the text? No, I don't. Okay. Yeah, I think so. I'm just going to say for const w of words. So for each of these items, I'm just simply going to ask why don't we make this thing an object like this? Right? Can I just do this? Basically, that's what I'll do, and then say 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and then output it at the end. I feel like that could work. We could also, yeah, I think that works. There's probably a way to do this just with the array itself. Like I could probably do a huge reduce off of this thing. Let's go for clarity. And no, I like the idea of the reduce, but I think that will be too complex and it may be bad anyhow performance wise. So, okay, let's just do it this way and we'll call it a day. So for each of the items, we need to first check to see what the number is in there. So I don't remember how to do regex for a number off the top of my head, because now I just use AI for that. That's like the one thing I will happily always use AI for, and I could not care less to have to remember regex. I mean, I can read it for the most part when I see it, like, okay, yeah, I know what that does, but I don't want to have to write it. So I don't. So we'll say like position equals, and then I just want to take the w dot test or find, or I forget what the thing is, regex to find a single number in a string. Thank you. All right, this is just raycast. Yeah, okay, there we go. So how do I test this thing again? Match, duh. All right, so we're gonna say match, and then we'll, what? I thought I did this thing so that I wouldn't have to remember. Do I have to do like, I should just do this. I was just trying to remember if I had to do like a string. And then let's, yeah, I must have to do string. All right, let's console log the position. Just see what I'm getting here. No. Awesome. That works really well. All right, so let's go back to here and see what I did wrong. Do you have to do like I said, this is the one thing I will happily always push off. What does the B and the B mean? Here I just said I could read it. Well, that's one way to call your bluff, you know? All right, so let's steal this whole thing. Let me copy that. Yeah. Okay. Let's try that. What am I messing up? Oh, I have to. All right, let's take this dot split, and we'll split it on an empty string. Okay, cool. And now let's do the position here. Always know your inputs. And that still didn't work. I don't understand why I wouldn't just need this. Oh, come on, Chris. Regex 101. What I used to do back in the day. All right, we're going to find digit. Did I just do the wrong thing? Okay. Let me get out of here. Isn't that literally what I just did? What am I not understanding here? This is literally what I'm doing, right? How do I copy this over? Do I have to do the GM thing? I am getting this thing correct, yeah? What am I missing here? Let's see, search for single number regex JavaScript. This is annoyingly embarrassing. Is it just that I have it in strings? Come on, Chris. We did a thing. Okay. And now I just want to pick off the first item. Okay. We made that way too hard. So then we're just going to final, and we'll take the position, whatever that is, and we'll add the word to it. Okay, and then down here, we're going to return, let's see, can I take object, let's console.log, object.values, and we're going to pass in the final here. This is a test. Okay, cool. And then I'm just going to join them on nothing. On an empty string like that. Okay, let's see if this works. So we're going to return this here. Yeah. What? All reading of 0. What doesn't it like? Is it this? Oh, there's an empty string. Okay. We'll say like if then we're just going to return final. We're just going to overwrite that. It's probably could be better, but we'll just do that. And then we'll say if final, this is not the right way to do this. Yeah, we'll just say if final equals an empty string, then we'll just return an empty string. Otherwise, we'll return that. Reading 0. So it won't even let me do this. Can I do this? So we say undefined. We're trying to split off this. All right, let's get out of here. Actually, I think this could still work. There's definitely a better way to do that, but we'll just say like if W equals an empty string, then we want to return this here. Oops. I think that works. It's not the most elegant solution, but assuming I did that right, yeah, okay. So we'll just return early basically, and then, yeah, there might be a better way to like insert these indices in like different places, but I don't know, I think this is fine. Okay, next, or skip, I guess, because I already attempted. We'll do maybe one more. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you did better than I did. In a small town of the population, P0 equals 1,000 at the beginning of the year. The population regularly increases by 2% per year, and moreover, 50 new inhabitants per year come to live in the town. How many years does the town need to see its population? This is just math. See its population greater than or equal to P equals 1,200 inhabitants. Oh, okay. So it can be given any 3 entire years. Okay, so it needs at least 3 years. Why? P0 at the beginning is population 0. It always starts at 1,000. Into the second year. Okay. And number of entire years to get population greater or equal to population P. August is an integer percent of positive or null floating value. Okay, so I can add in whatever item here, and I should get out the number of years. Present the percent parameter as the percentage in the body of your function. Okay. There are no fractions to people at the end of the year. The population count is an integer, round down. Okay. Okay, so I think I understand this as a whole. Math is definitely not my strong suit, but we'll see what we can do. So every year, when we loop through the percentage, what is aug again? I forget. It's an integer. Percent of positive, null, or floating value. positive integers. P0 and P are positive integers. A positive or null floating number. Okay. All right, so we're going to get a certain value, and every year, which is the, I can't remember, I have to keep looking at what these things are. P population equal to or surpass, inhabitants. Okay, so we're going to have number of years. So let's start with that at least, because I know we're going to need that. Let num of years, and we're going to say this is equal to 0 for now, and then eventually we want to return the num of years, right? Now, it's all the stuff in the middle that matters. So the first thing I need to do is we add, then we multiply times 2 plus 50. 50, right? 2% per year, and moreover, 50 new inhabitants come per year. Okay, so we're going to, first of all, do at least 3 years worth. So I guess, do I just do that to start with? So I'm going to take, to start with, we're going to take the P0 plus 150, because this is 3 years. Oh, I can't really do that though. Okay, so first of all, we're going to, the P is the, I don't like how small this thing is. P's percentage. Let me just write this thing out since I can't ever remember it. P0 is start pop. Percentage is growth percentage, I think, whatever that happens to be. Then we have the August, the AUG, inhabitants coming. Oh, okay, that's right. So they were just giving the original example. Okay. Per year, and then population to equal or surpass. Okay. Pop to equal. Okay. Coming per year, the growth rate itself. Okay, so what we're going to do is start with taking our existing population. We're also going to have let current pop equals whatever the P0 is to start with. All right. So much of these problems is just figuring out what they're asking. And then once you do, the process itself is the job. Yeah, obviously after you figure out what they're asking and the structure of it, it's not hard to do. But I don't know. I think I need to remember to be patient with myself and learning what the thing is about, because that's kind of the whole point of doing this, especially trying to do it kind of live. All right, P0 start. So we're going to take this. We're going to add to P0 times whatever the percentage is. Then we're going to add, and because of bin mass, this should be fine, the August, right? So we're going to do this. This will take, the current pop is equal to that. Okay. Now, we should do the same thing here. This should just be the current pop, right? And then I can repeat this 3 times. This is obviously not right, but let's just do this for now. So this at least gives me whatever the current population is. So we'll say console.log the current pop. Okay, so I have this value. Now I just have to say let's also and what was the other thing called? P. This is the population it's supposed to surpass. Okay, 5,000. So it definitely has done that by this point. Why is it saying, oh, I think in the example, they were just saying in that particular one, it took 3 years. I was thinking it will need 3 entire years. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm an idiot. So now what we're going to do is just check to see if this is the case. All right. So let's just use like a while loop, I guess, which I've never really used in a program. It doesn't usually help. If it's less than the P, then we're going to current pop. If this is less than the P, then I just do this again. I guess I need to do this at first to start with. So current, could it ever be already bigger? No. Okay. So yeah, so we're going to say current pop equals this. And then I'll just ask if current pop is less than P, then basically do this exact same thing again. Right? And then in the end, we're just going to return the number of years. Now this percentage, oh, I got to round down, right? What was that again? Don't forget to convert the percentage parameter as a percentage in the body. So if you have 2, okay. How do we do that? I guess is this right? 2.5 times 0.1, right? 2 times 0.1 should be that. That's right. No, it's yeah, times 10. Like I said, I'm not very good at math, as you can tell. There we go. Yeah, because it's the 100th. Okay, duh, because it's a percentage. Sorry, kids, do your math when you're young. Okay, so I think we should be good there. And then the last thing is I need to floor this. Math.floor. And we're going to do all of this here. I think that works. Let's take this and just make it a little helper here. New pop equals. We're just going to do all that. And then we can just run this new pop right here. It's just equal to whatever the new pop is. And we'll do the same thing here. Okay, that works. Return number of years. I think I deleted that. Okay, so then outside of here, this is after the while loop should be done. Calm for a second. All right. Now I want to take the number of years it takes. So while I'm in here, I should probably have, let's see, num. Let's start this at 1, I guess. Yeah, I'll do it in here. So it starts with this single year, and this accounts for this right here. Then we'll say num of years plus plus. Expected 20 to equal 15. Let's see what I'm doing wrong. New num of years, and let's also console log the current pop. 2 and the current year is that. Okay, so something's wrong with my math then. Surprise. All right, so we've got P0. Nope. we found it. Current pop. There we go. All right, that was it. Okay. That was a good little challenge. It's probably, again, a more efficient way to do a lot of these. I'm not really super concerned about that. I don't know how to do the next one besides just clicking next. So let's try that. I don't know. Let's do one more. Okay, take two strings, string 1 and string 2, including only letters from A to Z. Return a new sorted string, alphabetical ascending, and longest possible containing mean. I know there's like an algorithm for this that I do not know. Not having a CS background, that's something I've really long wanted to get into, but never really taken the time to do it. And most of my stuff is like not that performance intensive, so it doesn't super matter. And if it does, I know I need to look it up, and then I figure it out once, and then I never have to touch it again. So I'm going to do something really bad performance-wise, so you should not do what I do. But take two strings, string 1 and string 2, return a new sorted string, alphabetically ascending, the longest possible containing distinct letters, each taken only once. Okay. Well, I should have read the whole thing because I don't think that will be that hard. So we have two strings. Do they both always... It looks like they all contain something. They don't actually say that here, but they're not empty strings. So I think what I'm going to do is just do a new set, right? Am I missing this? S1 and S2 dot sort. No? Okay. I need to spread these in. Equal to... Okay, let's at least get this and see what I'm getting. Because I may just have this wrong here. So let's console.log. Okay, so I'm getting those items. Oh, and then I just need to join them. Yeah. So I just didn't join. All right. Happy holidays. Okay, well, hopefully that was interesting. It was kind of fun to be able to play around with this. I haven't done this kind of thing before. Let me know if you like these kinds of challenges. I hope that as you're watching, you're like, oh, you should do this and you should do this. And take the time to pause and actually try it yourself. I cannot tell you how much live streaming has helped me realize I don't know what I think I know. Or I don't know how to explain what I think I know how to explain. So I think you'll find the same thing, and it should be really helpful to you too. All right, well, thanks so much. Happy holidays. Peace out. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Happy coding.